Hi, my name is George Graham, founding associate of Heal Through Prayer. I want to congratulate you for taking your time to see the video in its entirety. And I know for some people this video will be life-changing. And I guess it is possible that some people may be reading this website and are thinking to themselves, that's impossible. There's no way you can see those results through prayer. But thanks to the advances in quantum physics, it's not only a bunch of theories, but to many, it's already reality. Let me tell you more about my story. Since I was a kid, I had many health challenges, so I ended looking at alternatives. So I studied for more than 20 years about health, nutrition, therapies, exercise, etc. And about 10 years ago, I found a healing quantum prayer system that really enhanced my life. And thanks to this finding, I was able to increase the quality of my health. But I still could not find the amazing health I heard many people talking about. Oddly enough, mid-2017, I fell and hurt my knee and cruciate ligaments. Even though I applied all my knowledge about health and wellness, I wasn't getting better. On January 2018, I began asking for God to send me the knowledge that would allow me to heal, and in exchange I made some promises. From that prayer, a new series of information manifested, and it showed me a new way to adapt the technology that I was using and transform it into something new and more powerful. I think it's worth mentioning that even though we're using hardware and software that are proprietary, our system is based on the prayer wheel, which was founded about 400 after Christ. Yes, that's right, about 16,000 years ago. I began using this new technology, and in a matter of 10 days, I noticed that the results I was getting exceeded by far the results from the old method. And thanks to it, I was able to heal my knee, my life, and my health, and help many others do the same. My mission is to help others achieve the same healing results and happiness. Sometimes we get asked, what else can you do with this technology? And we don't really talk about what we did with the technology, what we do with the technology, because we don't do it anymore. We don't offer this as a service. And I think that it's important to mention that what you're about to see at this time, it's a demo. The information of the person that you're watching on the screen, it's not real. The person is not of the real person. It's a person that's a model from the internet. And we're going to use real data from a friend of mine, and in the presentation that you're going to watch, that's going to be based on what we're doing on real life with this system. So this is more like watching a novel based on real data. So it's not necessarily the way things are, because you're not watching the screen that we use, but it's to give you an idea of how this works. So I put the name of a friend of mine, okay, and it appears on the computer, so I select it, and I already have her in my database, and since I have her here already in my computer, I know that she has a problem with her eyes, and I'm going to do a little evaluation at this time. So I'm going to show you how you make a long distance balance, which is, I'm going to repeat, not what we do at this time. This is the traditional way. I've been doing this for years. So this is the way it works. You have some kind of proprietary hardware or software that it works in usually in two different ways. That's what you're going to be finding. Some kind of mathematical equations or equation that does some kind of processes with the information that you're inputting into the computer that includes the information of the person plus whatever is in your database. Or it has a random number generator that sees the patterns that are repeating using that information and how that works with regards to whatever you are looking to heal. So I can add some filters or questions that of what I want to ask to the person. For example, in this, what do I need to balance to heal my eyes? So she wants to know that. And this software has what we call trays. To give an example, trays are like if you had files, different file folders that has specific information in each of them. So let's see what she resounds more with. Okay, so we're going to use random number generator to see what comes out with her data plus what we're asking plus our information in the database. Now, it's very important that you take into consideration that you're not making a diagnosis. We don't diagnose anything. Whoever tells you that with this type of technology they're doing a diagnosis, that would not be true. This sees at an energetic level, at a quantum level, at spiritual level, what resounds more with whatever you are asking the person on a spiritual plane. Now, it's very important that if you see something similar to a disease, it's not the disease. It just means that it's resounding with that. And when we communicate whatever comes out in the machine, the person receives the information and they begin the healing process. That's the reason why some people have called it quantum medicine and quantum healing, though this is not medicine. I don't think that you can call it even medicine because you cannot diagnose. It's also called sometimes informational medicine, and I don't think it's really medicine. So you cannot diagnose, you cannot call it medicine, in my opinion. So we do not diagnose, we do not cure, we do not treat any disease or even prevent that. This is to show you what we've been doing with this type of technology. So here you can see that I have different trays available, and I use a lot of the part with allergies, things that sound like allergies, like health challenges. For example, if someone has something that would sound similar to influenza, though remember this is not a disease, or candidiasis, candida. So I can get, for example, that tray. That's one of the biggest ones that I have. And we see things related to allergies. And it's something that your body's reacting to. So you're having an allergy. So maybe you've heard of something similar to this with regard to allergies, the NIAID. Those type of systems that also help with that. That's informational type of healing. And those are not done with a computer, but it's an example of that if you know those type of things. So we're doing the balancing right now. We are reading the person, seeing energetically how the person is resounding. We use the random number generator for that. And the database that we have that has taken us 10 years to develop. So you can see that's something that's affecting her energetically in the eyes. Actually, I could see each and every things here, one of the things that you can see here individually, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take a look more of things that have to do with the problem that she has. For example, I see that she has the energy of Eastern equine encephalitis. If you have encephalitis, for example, we're not looking at the disease. Remember, this is not a diagnosis, this is not medicine, this is energy. Usually people have problems with had encephalitis, have problems with the encephalon, which means with the brain. So if they have problems with that, they have maybe manifesting some things like a migraine, a headache, they could have pain in the ears, pain in the eyes, etc. We can also see if I find something else. Interesting enough, it shows that it has a propensity of an energy similar to convulsions. Up to what I know about her, she doesn't have that type of problem physically, so it just shows energetically. Take another tray. This person is really young, so she shouldn't have a lot of problems. This specific tray is more spiritual than physical. I can see that she has something similar to Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Also, I can see this other thing that has something to do with the nervous system. This is another tray. This is my design. 100% my design. I can see on an energetic level some viruses, also some circulatory problems, digestive problems. Now, Something that you have to keep in mind is that we catch everything at the end of the day on an energetic level. So everybody gets everything. So if you see that there's something that appears on the screen, it doesn't mean that you're dying of it. Everybody catches everything, but you have the ability to heal practically everything. There are a couple of things that not necessarily heal, and that has a lot to do with your hereditary things that you have. For example, this is an energy that appears here, and it says vaccine for pneumonia. And for example, if you study about Chinese medicine, you would know that if you ask her, do you usually get depressed? She would quite likely tell you, yes, sometimes I do. Also that we see a lot in the parasites. Nothing special. And now other things that's spiritual also. She has a propensity of addictions, like addicted to bad relationships, drugs, and other things. People, many different things. And we're having in this trade show something that's important to help you focus on you healing your eyes. That's very interesting. Now, something else that's important mentioning. I'm going to do one more evaluation. I like this one. That's for more homeopathic. And you can use it also for animals, for example, pets. So, something that you have to know or understand is that everything here is energetics. And since it's energetics, you're going to have a list that comes out. And anything that you see that with a list has a number. And whatever is over 20 is what's important for this person to be balanced, energetically balanced. 20 and below, it's not that important. So oddly enough here, again, in this tray we see something that has to do with eyes, and we can communicate this on an energetic plane. You can see that many things here have numbers. Some are positive, some are negative. Negative means that the person maybe is not exactly conscious of it, about something that could help her or him heal. This is very conscious, it's recognized 100%. So this is another thing that's homeopathic for the eyes. This is for someone that was a long time under the sun. This is some other thing that can influence that. Or sometimes we can see some herbs. Usually herbs need to be taken. You cannot transmit the herb and have a result with that. But it doesn't matter anyways, because we don't do this. This is just a demo. This is our, you can see also some problems at their muscular skeletal. There was also in another window screen that there was tenosynovitis. That means that she has problems with the tendons or the joints, problems like that. So we're gonna see we can make a report to see what's related to a question we are asking her on a spiritual plane. Now this is all spiritual. The person was never here with me. So right now we're compiling all the information to see what we can use to help this person focus on healing. Now on an energetic plane we have everything. And for example, on an energetic plane, it is believed that maybe about 92% of people may have a problem like cancer, for example. That's something that's hereditary. And things like that usually manifest depending on how you live your life. How you act, if you're usually angry, if you're bitter. Your emotions end up firing up everything. The situations that you see here. So I'm erasing many things that I'm not interested in right now in balancing. Now, parasites cannot be healed with this type of technology. This spiritual tray, I usually use it only to see to have an idea what the person may need. And I'm gonna be using some things from here to balance. So I see what I'm interested in balancing, I reevaluate and see what's more relevant from all the mini evaluations I did previously. And once I get this, I go to communicate now. I can send all the information. Maybe let's see for 10 minutes, for example. So it's sending this energy about that, for example, fungus that was found energetic. Now, I want you to keep in mind that maybe she could go take a test with regards to that, and she may not find anything that has to do with that. Energetically, she has something that resounds with that. And when I send this information, she will start to have a healing process on the spiritual plane or quantum plane. But she requires of this information to start the healing process. So right now the computer is sending also fractals, which is a form of energy, with geometric patterns to help her heal. So the person's going to be balancing for the time of that, for the period of time that we program the computer. So I can start the auto communication also and save. And there it goes. The computer is working automatically, self-balancing, self-praying. I don't need to do anything else than that. Just need the computer working, and the computer's gonna be balancing this person long distance. If we speak on the spiritual level, we know this goes to like a prayer to God, and God helps to manifest this. I hope this has answered some of the questions you may have about this technology, because this is like the predecessor of what we're doing, what we're actually doing right now. This is something that we don't do anymore. We don't have time to do. Right now, I had already an idea of what was going to come out, because I already checked here a couple of times before. But this type of balance can take from a couple of hours to a couple of days. This is a video to give you an idea of what is this energetic balancing or quantum prayer. And we're going to do a little demo. Now please take in mind that you're not going to see the real prayer that we're using, because that's proprietary technology from us. And you're not going to see also the real screen that we use to program the computer. This is just a demo. The reason why you're not going to be seeing this is because it has taken a lot of time and energy and resources to develop this. But we want to share with you how this technology works. So first of all, we start by selecting the client that we're going to be using for this example. We can just select from a human or an animal, and we need different information from those to be able to do the prayer. So we're going to invent a name here. Let's call her Maria Perez. That's her full name. So it's a new client. We're going to say that she was born today, place of birth. Now, of course, you're going to be adding the real date there and the real place of birth, right? So let's write Mexico City, Mexico. We're going to add a picture. This is a picture of a model, obviously. So we're going to select it. There it is. So what we're going to do is a new auto communication. So I write, I'm happy. This is where we actually input the prayer, the proprietary prayer that we're using. We are used several different prayers for each person depending on what the needs are of that person. And we're going to be selecting how much time it's going to be lasting. Let's say it's going to be for May, that's 6 months. So we're going to select it for periodic time and how many times in the day, how many minutes every time. You can play with these parameters. More repetitions, less repetitions, more minutes, less minutes, hours, etc. And here we start communication, and that's it. Automatically, the machine is gonna make a schedule of all the prayers. I can see here with the auto communications, and here I'm looking at what work it's doing. So it's doing it today at the current time, and it's gonna end the same day at 10 minutes after. So as the computer communicates for prayers, I'm gonna see when it has done it and for how many minutes. To communicate it's when actually the machine is praying for you. And this prayer, this is like as I was telling you on the website, this is a computerized prayer wheel, or energetic balancing if you wish to call it that. So this is sent to space on a quantum level, or it helps manifest. This helps manifest itself. So this is very simple, and there are many more things that you can do with this technology that we don't do nowadays. But we are focusing on doing this prayer system, and obviously the information of every person is completely confidential. That's why you cannot see the real name of the person here, or the real birth date, the real birthplace, or even the picture. This is a model. But you can do a lot of things with this technology. And I think that the interesting thing is that we have developed that with this new way that we're using, you can see something very, very important in your health. We're talking about healing on a spiritual plane or quantum level, and that ends up manifesting on a physical plane.